Hello, my name is Asha Sampath and welcome to this new edition of Business Africa, your magazine dedicated to the continent's business and economic news. As usual, you can win $150 in our Business Africa game. More details later, but first, today's top stories. Water dispenser for everyone, even for the lowest incomes. This is the bet of this entrepreneur from Rwanda. The river is the cause of the death of many people who come to collect this dirty water. This water also causes us many health problems. If we had cleaner water, we wouldn't come here. Spotlight on intercontinental African trade. Congolese producers try to overcome their fears with regard to external competition.
We really must work hard. Free trade will be helpful for us if we develop these industries and we start exporting manufactured products or finished products.
The African cotton sector is once again on the rise, and Mali is regaining its place as the leading producer.
All of the regions had reached a point where they realized that they needed a strategy to promote cotton processing.
We open this edition with a precious resource which we all need, water, of course, but millions of people in Africa are still struggling to access it, among them many children. In Rwanda, one woman has put her entrepreneurial spirit to work in this quest. She has succeeded in changing the lives of more than 73,000 people who now have access to drinking water dispensers by subscription. This revolutionary solution has considerably reduced the purchase of mineral bottles, leading to plastic pollution. This is a report by Temistokle Hakizimana.
In Rwanda, less than 50% of the population has access to drinking water, according to UNICEF. It is a health threat that can result in the appearance of various diseases and affect the health of the population. In the capital, Kigali, as well as in the surrounding region, it is undeniable that drinking water remains a serious problem. The water that the inhabitants draw from the rivers is indeed not always clean.
The river is the cause of the death of many people who come to collect this dirty water. This water also causes us many health problems. If we had cleaner water, we wouldn't come here.
Yvette Ishimwe, 25, is the founder of Iriba Water Group, a startup that provides clean water to rural and urban communities. She has installed water kiosks and sells filters to address the shortage of drinking water.
Clean water is a serious issue in Rwanda and also in the region. For example, I'll give you simple numbers. Like in sub-Saharan Africa alone, 319 million people are without affordable access to clean water. So, you can see yourself. If we still have up to 319 million people without clean water access, then that's a serious issue.
Created in 2018, Iriba Water Group has 3 components, including Iriba Tap and Drink for low-income communities. This company installs water dispensers and eco-kiosks in urban communities, especially in high-traffic areas such as markets, public parking lots, and others. Several kiosks have been set up across Kigali, like this one in Gisozi.
I work hard, and a small jerry can of water that I consume every day costs cheaper compared to mineral water. And then we find that our health has improved a lot since we started drinking this water. We therefore thank the owner of this business for allowing us to safely quench our thirst.
Dehydration and difficulties in finding drinking water in several schools are problems for which Iriba has also found a solution. Indeed, through its subsidiary Iriba Tap and Drink, the company has chosen to install water dispensers in schools. Each student, after paying a quarterly subscription of approximately $2, has unlimited access to drinking water provided by Iriba Water Group.
Before, I had health problems all the time because of the dirty water we drank here. Now, we fear nothing.
The various actions undertaken by Yvette Ishimwe and her startup Iriba Water Group have made it possible to significantly increase access to drinking water for the most disadvantaged.
Especially when I see the low-income people, because these are our target, those people coming one by one on the line, coming to get water. Yes, I feel very satisfied. It's a very rewarding experience. It's a very it's something really, really good that encourages me to also wake up another morning and push forwards for more people to have access to clean water.
Thanks to her initiative, Yvette Ishimwe has already improved the daily lives of no less than 74,500 people, while already employing 590 workers. Her objective is to continue her efforts to fully satisfy the demand for safe drinking water on the Rwandan market. A complement to local government actions aimed at better water conservation through the setup of drinking water storage infrastructures.
Italy, very dependent on imports of Russian gas, has become the first European state to turn to Africa. In 2 weeks, the government of Prime Minister Mario Draghi signed agreements with Algeria, Egypt, Angola, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, developments from which the continent could benefit through the Italian oil group Eni, now committed to developing a liquefied natural gas project in the Democratic Republic of Congo. An African oil-producing country has decided not to borrow and to finance its budget with its revenues. Angola is lucky to benefit from the increase in oil prices and has chosen to be cautious. Instead of raising the second tranche of its Eurobond bonds issue, the country will use the leverage of oil prices, which have doubled with the war in Ukraine. Angola had raised $1.7 billion in April, shortly after Nigeria. South Africa has also issued a $3 billion bond issue. In Kinshasa, the Democratic Republic of Congo's membership in the African Continental Free Trade Area, the AFCFTA, is not to everyone's taste. If some approach it as an opportunity for opening up the country, small producers see it above all as a threat. They fear that the Congolese economy is simply not ready to fight against external competition. To understand this reluctance, our journalist Francine Mokoko went to the Loa Chocolate Factory. This family business recently launched into the production of chocolate with cacao from the eastern province of Walikale and some locally manufactured machines. Take a look. This cocoa from Walikale usually goes through the huller, but in the absence of one, Chocolaterie Loa works with these women instead. But still insufficient female hands given the quantity of production. If they have not yet found the formula to make a huller locally, Steve and his team have already achieved the feat of setting up a roaster on site to dry the cacao and another machine to extract the cacao butter by pressing the cacao beans paste.
Once we're able to develop our own machines, it will be a question of improving them with Congolese engineers. We can do it and have machines that are adapted to our local conditions. So it's possible to create our own technology that works.
After that, Steve and his associates make their way to the other corner of the family factory. In these juxtaposed pieces, the cocoa follows its transformation process. Once mixed with other ingredients known as the shaping stage, the chocolate is cooled and then wrapped. The Loa Chocolate Factory operates in a context of competition with the opening of the DRC to the African Continental Free Trade Area, the AFCFTA. Confronting this competition is no easy task for this chocolate factory.
Right now, production is not huge. It's a bit more than 200 kilos of chocolate a month. So we really must work hard. Free trade will be helpful for us if we develop these industries and we start exporting manufactured products or finished products. If there's no change, it will always be import products and export raw materials.
Although chocolate has become a centerpiece of the business, the idea of making chocolate did not come from Steve. It actually came from his father, Alexei, who spent his life in the coffee and cacao plantations. And he calls for support from the Congolese state to help local producers cope.
The state must support us. They must help us by building roads, reducing taxes and supporting us small producers. It's small producers who can benefit from free trade because we have the space, we have the production and then also the clients here in Congo. We can sell our products to the Congolese without having to sell abroad.
The opening of the DRC to the economic free trade zone has worried local producers, especially the Lower Chocolate Factory, which fears unfair competition. But for the leaders, the DRC must be part of the AFCFTA, despite the difficulties, but at the same time work to boost its economy.
If a country feels it's not ready to implement the whole agreement, I mean the entire agreement, it can delay adopting certain clauses. We've allowed each country 10 years to prepare, and at the end of the 10-year period, the country will decide whether it wants to remain in the agreement or not. We can't work in a vacuum. We're not dictators. After all, we are one country on a continent, and we are one continent in the world, a changing world. So we, as a country, have to fit in with the changes that are shaking up the world. There's nothing we can do about it.
For this economist, the Congolese economy is not totally destitute. The country has assets to compete with other nations on the continent. To do this, it is necessary that the authorities carry out certain reforms in order to put the country on par with other African economies in the competition within the AFCFTA.
L'économie congolaise n'est pas.
The Congolese economy is not completely weakened, but there are a certain number of goods that are made elsewhere.
Qui sont fabriqués ailleurs. Il suffit seulement que les autorités puissent aussi rencontrer le besoin.
We need the authorities to help with the economy, in particular the financial aspects. Actions need to be accounted for, otherwise the consequences are far more drastic in a free-for-all where the budget is not kept to.
One thing is sure, with this entry of the DRC to the AFCFTA, it could be the beginning of a hurdle race for the Congolese producers. Welcome to the second part of our show. What can we do about the great wave of resignations of technological and financial talents? This is the question that Nigerian banks are asking themselves. They have been watching with concern from some time the departure of many of their best talents. The movement is linked both to migrations abroad and to the attraction of the very dynamic sector of startups focused on Africa. This ecosystem raised $5 billion last year. The mobile, telephony and electronic payment sectors are booming. And precisely to further accelerate this trend, after Togo, the Google Ekwano cable has just reached the Nigerian coast in Lagos. It travels 12,000 kilometers along the West African coast to reach its destinations, Togo, Nigeria, Namibia and South Africa. As a result, huge advances in the speed of internet connections. In Nigeria, it is estimated that the arrival of the Ekwano cable will increase internet speeds by a factor of 6, reducing internet retail prices by 21%. Are they part of the solution for the future of the continent? Insects like the black fly are not necessarily very attractive, but they have hidden properties, both for animal feed and for the recycling of organic matter, but also the production of fertilizers. In South Africa, Inseco operates the largest factory that converts black fly larvae into feed for fish farming and poultry farming. The company has just raised $5.3 million. Rwanda has also opened a production unit and intends to become a pioneer in this niche in East Africa. Mali regained its crown as the leading African cotton producer this year after a fine 2021-2022 campaign of 760,000 tons. The price of the cotton producer has just been set at 285 CFA francs against 280 last year. After the uncertainties in the fashion and textile industry during the pandemic, producers have every reason to rejoice in this white gold sector, which has seen great progress in recent years. Take a look.
Cotton is the world's most popular textile. In West and Central Africa, the sector provides a livelihood for almost 20 million people. Or rather, it used to. Over the past decade, Africa's so-called white gold has been shaken by an unprecedented crisis. In 2001, the continent produced 1 million tons of cotton. It now produces just 400,000 tons. The loss of earnings is estimated to be in the region of $500 million, with small-scale producers suffering at the very moment cotton prices are climbing. With backing from Brussels, African cotton players are getting organized.
We have made several trading trips with the European Union representatives and established partnerships with the China Cotton Association, our sister association in the People's Republic of China. It is a credit to this partnership that we were able to establish these ties, that we developed synergies between our specialists within the various cotton companies, and that we have drawn up a strategic plan. We must, however, consolidate the progress we have made. We have to make sure it is sustainable. Slowly but surely, we must lay down the tracks that lead us to victory.
In each of the continent's cotton-producing regions, the objective is the same: to improve the quality and yield of the cotton seed. At this field school in Bla, southern Mali, the farmers follow lessons on the plant's growth cycle and learn how to detect and identify the insects that attack them.
We meet up each week to monitor the plant's development. We observe the insects to see those that are natural enemies, the pests. We've increased production by over 30%. It is also a giant step for human and animal health, as we are using less pesticides.
In less than 4 years, 16,000 Malian producers have been trained. Now, with cotton prices climbing, requests to attend training courses are also on the rise. Production costs, meanwhile, have fallen thanks to a greater use of natural pesticides, such as neem leaves.
People are encouraged by the high price for cotton and the growing demand. But we cannot keep up with demand, and that's why we need to train as many agents as possible, so they can, in turn, pass on what they've been taught to as many producers as possible.
2 regional technical centers have been set up to ensure that cotton meets international standards. One is in Dar es Salaam in Tanzania, the other in Ségou in Mali.
Thanks to the creation of this regional technical center, we've been able to train cotton sector workers, notably the quality controllers from various cotton companies, in how to apply the integrated measurement system. The cotton testers from the 10 countries in West and Central Africa, Benin, Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Ivory Coast, Mali, Chad, and Senegal, will all train here and can now apply the integrated measurement to determine the main characteristics of the cotton fiber.
The aim of the project is to harmonize the various laboratories in the sub-region, Central Africa and Eastern Africa. This will help us get a clearer picture of our cotton production and help us classify our cotton more accurately and sell it more competitively on international markets.
Another key point, and one of the major challenges facing technical and financial partners, is funding for the cotton processing sector.
All of the regions had reached a point where they realized that they needed a strategy to promote cotton processing. Cotton is subject to market fluctuations precisely because it is only exported as a raw material. In West Africa, for example, we agreed to process at least 25% of locally produced cotton. This is an admirable goal, but we have to make sure the right conditions are in place. Costs of fertilizers, energy, and transport, not to mention the commercial policy, have to be brought down so they make imports of rival products less tempting and bring about genuine development of local textile and processing industries.
If the continent's cotton is to remain competitive, the sector must promote professionalization and comply with international requirements. This is one revolution that cannot wait. Rival cotton producers in the United States, India, and Turkey are still, more than ever, in the race.
It's now time to reward our loyal viewers of Business Africa. It's up to you to answer to the following questions. If you're drawn among those who have given the correct answers, you will win $150. This is game number 575, so listen carefully to the two questions that follow and good luck. First question, when did Yvette Ishimwe create her company? 2008, 2015, 2018. Second question, what does the Loa family business produce? Toys, chocolate, shoes. You know the answers. You can participate now by going to our website africaonair.com. in the replay section. Answer the questions, fill out your form, and good luck. And of course, don't forget to include your contact details, name, address, telephone, email, and the number of the game you are entering with the answers, of course. This game, for example, is game number 575. Check out the terms and conditions in the replay section on our news website, africaonair.com. The winner will receive $150 as our winner this week. Congratulations, you gave the correct answers to our game number 574. Here are the details. First question, what was Muriel Hungavu's first job? The answer, decorate a church. Second question, what equipment is needed for beekeeping? The answer, a beehive. That's it, Business Africa is over for today. I'll see you next week, same time, same channel for Initiative Africa. Franco-Malian singer Momani Keita will be our guest. In the meantime, you can watch this show again on our news website, africaonair.com, as well as on all our social media channels. Feel free to share, like, and comment using the hashtag BusinessAfrica. Take care of yourselves and see you next week. Goodbye.